Hey, what's up, Teacher Nation? Today I want to talk about what to do when one of your students is off task with their computer in the classroom. And I guess I'm dealing particularly with sort of a middle school to early high school kind of environment. Let's say anywhere from grade 5 up through about grade 10. I think once you get into grade 11 and 12, some of what I'm about to say doesn't apply, or it applies a little differently. But what do you do in that middle school, early high school environment when a student is off task with their device? You know, they've been gaming, hopping onto YouTube, chatting, doing something completely off task and outside of the realm of the assignment. That's a common problem. And it's an issue with, classrooms and technology. It's a challenge. And it's not one that we're going to pull our hair out about or have a heart attack about, but it's one that we need to talk about and solve together. So one of the moves that a lot of teachers make when a student is off task with their device is to instantly take the device away. Just take the computer away and maybe take it away for the day. If they feel like this student has done it before, that kind of behavior before. And what's the problem with that? Well, the problem with that is that for the duration of that class, you've just taken away perhaps their most important learning tool for that class. And not only that, if you take away their device for the day, you've now penalized every other teacher throughout the day who has to figure out, well, how do I help this student to learn or to participate in the learning activities that I had planned for the day? Maybe the social studies teacher had some material on Google Maps, can't participate. The math teacher had some activities on IXL or Google Sheets, or using a calculator, can't participate. And in English class, there was some collaborative work that was going to be done on Google Docs, can't participate. And so what you've done is you've basically said, to the student of 30 years ago who was maybe drawing on their desk with their pencil, you've said to that student, oh, you can't have a pencil for the day. See, the problem isn't the medium per se. The problem is with the student and their proper use of the technology or the device. And so we need to think outside of the box of, I'm just going to take away the technology. Now, yes, there are serious cases of, violation of privacy or safety or, extreme misuse of technology where we need to take a temporary measure and take the device out of the picture, at least for a time. But in your average situation, if I catch a grade 7 or grade 8 student gaming or chatting, is my first reaction to pull it away, or is it something else, something a little more thoughtful, something a little more collaborative? So I was just talking to some students, some teachers at a committee meeting a few minutes ago, and we were, just doing some brainstorming around this whole idea, and there are no easy answers, and we agreed that you can't, as teachers, we can't fall into, the temptation of one size fits all. We can't come up with these rules or these, escalating consequences that will apply in every single situation. It's impossible. Every student, every situation, every case is different. But I think what we can start to look to is restorative consequences. They may not be logical in the sense that they don't, the logical consequence that it doesn't link directly with a computer per se. But, I just thought of some logical. But we were thinking along the lines of, what can that student do to bring some restoration to the community? It's a little bit cliche, but can they pick up garbage around the school? Can they scrub walls? Can they scrape gum? Can they, do some recycling or shredding? Can they do things that will lighten the load of other people in the community, that will help the school body find ways to contribute back? Because by misusing the technology, they've actually misused resources, they've wasted class time, they've gotten in the way of their own learning, they've made the job of the teacher more difficult, they've no one exists in a school setting in a vacuum. And so, by finding ways to give back to the community, that is a beginning. That's a start. The idea that I just had while I was talking about this is, in terms of logical consequence, finding ways to give back to the community using the device. And, what about doing something like writing a personal letter to the teacher or maybe to the class, or making a presentation on the importance of proper responsibility with devices, basic digital citizenship practices to model and to practice in the class environment. Maybe using that device for good instead of for, I don't want to say evil, but using it properly instead of misusing it. That's really the point. And so the goal is to work with students to not take the technology away very quickly. That's going to penalize the student. It's going to get in the way of their learning. It's going to get in the way of other teachers, and indirectly in the way of other students' learning, particularly if there's a lot of collaboration happening. So teachers, let's not go to taking away the device too quickly. Let's try to find productive, restorative ways for that student to thoughtfully, strategically give back to the class, give back to the community, do some good for, as a logical consequence for the wasted time, for the hopefully not serious destruction, but for the damage that was caused to the community as a result of their off-task behavior. So just a few thoughts on how we respond to students when they're off task with the device. Let me know what you think. Maybe you've got a great idea that you've been using in your classroom, and students completely buy in and they understand it, and it goes a long way. Please tell us about it in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. Off-task behavior, not a chronic issue in my classes, I wouldn't say, but I would say any class where every student has a computer, it's probably an issue to some extent. And so it's a challenge that we're all facing in our classes. Let me know what you think, and look forward to hearing your comments. Peace out. Thanks for watching.